So welcome to this section for the signals and system. Today we are going to see what is signal and what is system, and we are going to see the elementary of signals and classification of signal and classification of system and operation on signals. Okay. So before going to see the representation of signal or classification of system or classification on signal, we have to understand what is meant by signal. Signal is going to carry some information from the transmitter to the receiver. Okay. Here we have seen representation of signal and elementary of signals and classification of signals, and we are going to see today first classification of systems. Yeah, signal, this is all as taken in the last previous classes. So signal is going to carry some information. Types of signal is continuous time signal and discrete time signals. Continuous time signal, with respect to t, we are representing your amplitude values, that is your continuous time signal, and discrete time signal with respect to n, we are going to define your signal strength, that is your discrete time signals. Representation of signals, that is your graphical representation and functional representations and tabular representations and sequence representations. Graphical, by using the graph, we are going to define your signal strength by using your graph. So n equal to 0, what is your amplitude value? N equal to 1, what is your amplitude value? N equal to 2, what is your amplitude value? So likewise, by using your graph, we are going to show your signal strength. Then functional representations. Okay. Then functional representations is nothing but by using your equations, that is x of n equal to n equal to 0, and here n plus 2, n greater than 0, and here n minus 2, n less than 0. Okay, by here we have to substitute your n values so that we can find your sample values, amplitude strength. Next, tabular representations. Tabular representation is nothing but n. So 0, 1, 2. Here x of n value is 5, 6, 7. That means that for n equal to 0, my amplitude strength is 5, and when n equal to 1, my amplitude strength is 6, and when n equal to 2, that is my amplitude value is 7. Okay. If you are going with your sequence representations, so x of n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, so 3. Okay. X of 0, 3 value, and x of 1, 4 value, x of minus 1, 2 value, and x of minus 2, 1 value. Yeah, these are, that is representation of signal and elementary of signal and classification of signal we have seen in the last section. Today we are going to see your classification of system. Okay. How signal cannot process without system. Without system, likewise system also cannot process without your signal. So without signal we cannot do with your system. The same thing, without system, signal cannot process anything. Here we have to understand what is the definition for your system. Yeah, if you are coming towards your signals and systems, here number of blocks connected together. Connected together. Here you are giving your input signal, that is your x of function, and he will have your impulse function, and here you will receive your output signals. Okay. So number of blocks are connected together. Through that we are passing the input signal, and according to that we are receiving the output signal. So when you have the definition for the system, how we can define number of blocks connected together that produces an output for the given input system, that is your system. Next we are going to see the classification of system. Classification of system is nothing but we are going to see your causal system and non-causal system, linear and non-linear system, and time invariant and time variant system, and stable and unstable system, and static and dynamic system, and invertible and non-invertible systems. Causal. What is the meaning of for the causal system. How you will identify your system as causal or non-causal? You will have the definition as like your mathematical expressions. Okay, if you are going to do the any addition and subtraction, we will have a set of rules. Likewise, here also we are having what is meant by causal system and what is meant by non-causal system. Here the rule is defined as causal. If your system is satisfy the present and past values of the input signal. Okay, if your system is only satisfy the present and past values of the input signals, that is your causal system. So here what is the equation we are having? Y of n equal to x of n plus 1 by 2 x of n minus 1. So here you can substitute n value. Here you can substitute n value. N value equal to 0 you can take. N value equal to 0 you can take. So here y of 0 equal to x of 0 plus 1 by 2 x of n minus 1. What is our m sample value? Was 0 minus 1. Here n equal to 0, then y equal to 0, x of 0 plus 1 by 2 x of minus 1. What is the present value we are giving? Here 0. Here this 0 value, and you will have here minus 1. Yeah, that means that 0 is a present value and minus 1 is the past values. So the system depends on your present and past values of the input signals. So this system is called as causal system. If suppose your system is non-causal, what is the condition? It has to satisfy. It also, if your system is considered as a non-causal system, your system has to satisfy that is your input signal has to depends on your future's value also. That system is called as non-causal systems. Okay, if your system is said to be a non-causal, the present value of the output signals depends only on the future values of the input signal. Here I have given here two examples. See, y of t equal to 1 by c integral minus infinity to t, that is x of tau into d tau. That is your causal system. And if you are going with your non-causal systems, y of t equal to x of minus t. If you are taking your t value equal to minus 2, if you are taking your t value equal to minus 2, so y of minus 2 equal to x of minus into minus 2, it will have your x of plus 2. That is, this values depends on future. So the system is called as non-causal systems. Okay. So next we are going to see your linear and non-linear systems. Linear and non-linear. This is very important for your systems. Why? Because if you are further units, we are going to see your classification of signal and classification of system and discrete time systems and discrete time signals we are going to see. Here, whenever you are going to check your system properties, your system is LTI system. LTI system means linear time invariant system. Your system has to satisfy your LTI system means your system has to satisfy linear as well as your time invariant properties. It has to check. First, we have to understand what is the linear system. What is a linear system? A system is said to be linear. It has to satisfy the superposition theorem. As you all know that what is meant by superposition theorem. Superposition is nothing but it has to be equal. The weighted sum of the inputs will be equal to weighted sum of the outputs. So if you are giving your y1 of t, that is, it will be in your x1 of t, f of x1 of t. So for your linear system, it has to satisfy the additive property and scaling property. That is what the linear system is framed. F of a1 x1 of t plus a2 into x2 of t equal to a1 into y1 of t plus a2 into y2 of t, where a1 and a2 are constants, and this is your, so this property has to satisfy your scaling property and your additive property. So additive property is nothing but addition, and here we are doing your a1. So first here how we have to check your system is linear or non-linear. First we have to give the input signal separately, and we have to add all the input signals that will be equal to weighted sum of the outputs or not, we have to check. that is your linear system. If the equations are that is your signal equations are satisfied the superposition theorem, that system is called as linear. If it is not, that system is called as non-linear systems. Okay, here y of t equal to x squared of t, y of t equal to x squared of t. The output system will have here two inputs, so y1 of t equal to f x1 of t equal to x1 squared into t. Next I am giving the second input, y2 of t equal to f x2 of t equal to x2 whole squared of t, and here the combinations of these outputs will become y3 of t equal to here we have to do your scaling process, so a1 into y1 of t plus a2 into y2 of t. Here we have to substitute your y1 of t and y2 of t. Yeah, this is your first equation, and this is your second equation, and this is your third equation. Yeah, third equation. Next we are going to give a input. Yeah, for instead of x squared of t, we are going to give here a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t. Yeah, here what we are having, x squared of t. So here a1 x1 of t plus a2 x2 of t whole squared. What is the formula? This one is a plus b whole squared formula. So a squared plus b squared plus 2ab plus 2ab. Here we have to substitute the formulas. So you have to find the equations. By finding that equation, if you are substituting these formulas here, you will get this equation. So here we have to compare this third and fourth equation. If third and fourth equation is equal, we can conclude that the system is linear. If it is not, that is your non-linear system. If you are comparing with the third and fourth equation, if both the equations are not equal, so this system is not satisfied your superposition principle. So here this system is called as non-linear systems. It is very important. You have to write. We are giving where here first input and second input and together, that is we are finding the weighted sum of the inputs. So this is your third equation, and here we are going to calculate. We are going to give you both the input signal is at a time. When you are giving your input signals, we are receiving this equation. So we have to check your third and fourth equation is equal or not. If third and fourth equation is equal, that means that this signal equations are satisfying your linear systems. If it is not, that is your non-linear system. So by comparing these two equations, your systems are signal equations are not equal, so the given system is non-linear system. Okay. Next we are going to check with your next properties, time invariant and time variant systems. Okay. Time invariant. Normally time invariant and variant. Time invariant means, what is the meaning? With respect to your time, it does not change. If you are going with a time variant, with respect to time, it will change. Okay. You can write the equation y of t comma t naught equal to y of t minus t naught. If the system doesn't change with respect to your time, that is your time invariant. With respect to time, if it is changing, that is your time variant. Okay, a system is said to be a time invariant if a time delay or time advance of the input signal leads to a identical time shift in the output signal. So it has to satisfy this. If it is satisfying, that is your time invariant. If it is not satisfying, that is your time variant. We can take your y of t equal to sine of x of t. What I said, if you are giving your delay with your input signal, what is your system behavior? So according to that we can define. Okay, according to that we can define. So y of t comma t1 equal to x of t minus t1. Here we are giving sine x of t minus t1. Okay, why? Because the given expression is y of t equal to sine of x of t. For this expression, we are going to determine whether the system is time invariant or variant, we have to give a input delay. Yeah, we have to give a input delay. So sine of x of t minus t1. Then next we are giving we have to replace a delay where you have t, there you have to substitute t minus t1. If you are substituting t minus t1, yeah, this is your first equation and this is your second equation. You have to compare whether these systems are equal or not. If both the systems are equal, that is your time invariant, that is it does not change with your time, so that is what the system is time invariant. Next we have to give your understand your stable and unstable systems. Okay, if your system is a stable system, that is bounded input and bounded output. If you are giving your bounded input and you are receiving your bounded output, that is your stable system. If you have your graph like this, okay, if you are having your this is your time and this is your x of t and this is your origin. Okay, you are giving your input system, according to that it will change your amplitude. Here we are giving your bounded input, unbounded output. If you are going with your unbounded means what is that? We cannot say that for this time what is your amplitude values, that is we are giving your bounded input only, we are receiving your unbounded output. So that is what the system is unstable system, this is your stable system. Yeah, so if the system has to satisfy if your x of t is less than infinity, that is your stable system. The system is represented by y of t equal to a of x of t is unstable. Why? Because a greater than will be 1. Okay. Then the system x of t is u of t, that is u of t, u of t, you all know that is your unit step signal. Unit step signal, how we can define? 1, t greater than or equal to 0, okay, t greater than equal to 0 and 0 otherwise. So here limit is 0 to infinity. When you are multiplying your a value will be greater than 1 and here t greater than or equal to 0. Here we are receiving your limit value equal to 0 to infinity. So it will keep on multiplying with your a. The output will not be bounded. So the system is unstable system. Next we are going to see your static systems. Okay, static system. Static system means the signal depends on only present values of the input signal. Okay, the signal that is output of the signal will depends on your present values of the input signal only. And if it is depends on your present input, that means that here there is no need of storage devices. And if doesn't have here any storage devices, this system is called as memoryless system. So I of t equal to 1 by r into vt. This we can take it as an example of your static system. If you are going with your dynamic system, yes, dynamic system, it is a process memory and it needs your storage. Why? Because it depends on your past values and future values of the input signals. Past values and future values of the input signal. That system is called as dynamic system. And if you are going with your integration part, that means that it's going to multiply your that is if you are going with your integration, if suppose you can take your x, if you are going to integrate, what is that? X square, it is going to be a square. That means that it's going to depends on your past and future values. So the system is called as dynamic system. And if you are going with your memoryless system, okay, that is your doesn't needs your memory. That means that it depends on your present values only. That is your static system. So which system depends only present, there is no need of memory. So that is what the static system is called as memoryless system. And if you are going with your system with memory, that is the system depends on your past and futures of the input signal. So this system is called as dynamic system. So this system requires memory. Why? Because it stores your past values and future values of the input signal. So invertible and non-invertible or invisible systems. Okay. invertible and non-invertible systems. Non-invertible systems. Okay, inverse system. Okay, if your system invertible, that means that the names implies that what is the input we are giving, that we can be able to recover in the output of the system, that is your invertible system. If it is non-invertible system, what is the input signal we are giving, that we could not able to recover in the output of the function, that is your non-invertible system. Yeah. So here we can, so far what we have seen here is continuous time systems. Now we are going to see your discrete time systems. Here, before that, for your what are the classification of system we have seen? Classification of system is causal and non-causal. Okay, causal means what is that? The system has to satisfy your present and past values of system, that is your causal. And non-causal means the system has to satisfy your future, it has to depends on your future values also, that is your non-causal system. And linear is nothing but it has to satisfy your superposition system, that is your linear system. If it is non-linear, it does not satisfy your superposition principle, that system is called as non-linear system. Next is time invariant and time variant. The name implies that your systems depends upon the time, it should not change the system behavior. Depends upon the time period, it should not change the system behavior, that is your time invariant. It depends on your time, it changes the system behavior, that is your time variant system. Yeah. Next is static and dynamic. Static implies that this system will depends on only present, that is your memoryless system. If you are going with your dynamic, it depends on your past and future values. Okay, past and future values, so that system is dynamic. And stable and unstable system. Stable and unstable system is what? You are giving your bounded input, you are receiving your bounded output, so that system is called as stable system. If you are giving your bounded input, you are receiving your unbounded output, that is your unstable system. Yeah. Then next we will see your discrete time systems. Discrete, as I said earlier, discrete time we used to represent it with your n. Yeah, we used to represent it with your n. So here what we are going to see, we are going to see the classification of system in terms of your discrete. First we will see your memoryless systems. Okay, memoryless system means what? That is your static system. As I said earlier, it has to satisfy on your present values only. So y of n equal to x of n squared, this is your memory systems. So this depends on your future, that is your dynamic system. Here also it depends on your past values, that is also your dynamic systems. So if you are going with your linear system, it has to satisfy your superposition principles. But here when you are writing your terms, what you have to write? You have to write in terms of n for each sample values, what is your signal values. So here we are doing your additive property and scaling property. Here y of n equal to x of n minus n naught. So t into x1 of n plus x2 of n. Here we are giving x1 of n minus n naught and n minus n naught. Next we are giving your x2. So x2 of n minus n naught. Then we are doing here scaling property, and instead of x of n minus n naught, what we are giving? x1 of n minus n naught plus x2 of n minus n naught. We have to substitute and find the expressions. Okay, if you are finding the expressions, so y of n equal to x of n minus n naught. As per the linear system, y1 of n we have to find. Y1 of n is what? x1 of n minus n naught, and y2 of n x2 of n minus n naught. Then before that we will have your scaling property, that is what? A x1 of n, and next we will have your a x2 of n minus n naught. If you are adding y1 of n plus y2 of n, you will have your y3 of n. So y3 of n equal to a1 x1 of n minus n naught plus a2 into x2 n minus n naught. Okay, this is your third equation. then you have to find your fourth equation, that is you are going to give the x of n minus n naught equal to a1 into x1 of n minus n naught plus a2 into x2 into n minus n naught. Instead of x of n minus n naught you are going to give. By giving that, you will get your fourth equation. You have to check whether your third equation and fourth equation are equal. That system is called as linear system. Okay, then time invariant systems. Time invariant system, with respect to your time, it should not change, or it should not change the system behavior, that is should not have a shift variance. So if it doesn't have it, that is your time invariant. If it is depends upon the time your system behaviors are changing, that is your time variant systems. Causal systems and non-causal systems. Causal, as I already said, this depends on your present and past values. So here y of n equal to x of n minus x of n minus 1. If you are substituting your present value 0 and past value minus 1 and present value past value plus 1, what is your system behavior? Yeah, this if you are substituting your one value, y of one value equal to x of 1 and x of 1 minus 1 0, that is your present and past value. This depends. So this is your backward difference. So this system is called as causal system. So stable system, already have said, for your discrete also you have to check if you are giving your bounded input, you are receiving your bounded output, that is your stable system. If not, that is your unstable system.